Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is Mavericks of Senior Living. I am Catherine Wells, the Chief Inspiration Maverick, and this is my cohort, Taylor Hewlett, our Chief Ingenuity Maverick.
Hello everyone, welcome.
So we're excited to be here today. We are starting a week of 10-minute Facebook pop-ups. So this is our first one, and we're super excited to have the incredible Dale Carter here with us. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Catherine and Taylor.
Thanks for joining us on a Sunday. So we're going Sunday through Saturday, 11 o'clock every day Mountain Time. So please join us. So what we did was we invited a different guest each day. We gave them one word and 10 minutes. So Dale Carter works with family caregivers. She has experience in doing so with both her mom and her husband. And the word that we gave her today is love. What a great way to start the week off, Dale. So tell us a little bit about love.
Well, I tell you, when I got my word, I was a little overwhelmed. How do I get love in 10 minutes?
Yep.
So this is what first came to me, and I'm sure you've all heard these words. These are the words that are usually spoken at funeral services. So I'm just going to pull out some of those key parts of that passage that's usually repeated. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And when I thought about that this morning, I'm like, that should be our guiding principle for living. I should read those words every morning. It really provides the foundation for us. If we have love, you know, we will be there for our loved ones and for ourselves, which is so important. So this morning I want to talk about, so love is this amazing thing, but how do we put love into action? And that's where true love comes. And you know, we put it into action by knowing who our loved one is. Most of the people on this Facebook Live either care for loved ones, have a family member, somebody who is going through some physical decline, maybe cognitive decline. They're changing, their life is changing, the people around them are being changed. So how do we meet that person with love? Well, the first thing we do, we know who they are, and always keep that in our heart.
Yeah.
We've known them all their lives, usually, unless we're a professional caregiver and we try to learn about them then. But who are they? What did they love during their lives? What gave them joy? Who were the people who were important to them? For my husband passed about 15 months ago. He had Lewy body for 5 years, but one thing I tried to do during that entire journey was to understand who he was, where he was in the disease, and then how I could bring joy to his life. And we can all do that.
Yeah.
We can learn about whatever this process is that's going in their body or mind and put that together with who they were.
And that can be really hard to do depending on where you're at in the cycle. I know my dad had a hard time with my mom having Alzheimer's, meeting her where she was at because it was so hard for him to face it. That meant that she had Alzheimer's. Whereas if he kind of just ignored it, maybe it wasn't so hard. It's a tough thing, but that's what love does, right? We just do our very best.
And that's an important point that you make, Catherine. So I'm going to go off in another little direction and say one of the best things a family member or caregiver can do is to get the support around them.
Yeah.
I lead a family care cafe, and I started it so I could bring people together. They could meet other people going through what they were going through and find resources. Over the past year, we've got a group together, a cohesive group now. I am amazed at how this group has transformed, how they have created this community, and they are there for each other.
So let's let people know that's in Denver. This is based in Denver. And something you said about having this community of people, not only for the educational resource, but what I find really valuable is knowing you're not alone.
Absolutely. And they are being met where they are. We had one family caregiver. She called me the night of the Family Care Cafe and said, I just flew back into Denver. My father's in the ICU. They say he's dying. And she said, I need to come to the group, but I don't know if I can. And I said, well, think about it. And I said, you can come and you can just be part of the group and not say anything if you don't want to. Yeah. She came to the group and she started to speak, to tell her story. I was just overwhelmed. People in that group reached out to her and immediately said, how can we help you? You're in a hotel room. Your father's dying. How can we help you? And she's like, well, I really don't know. And this one woman just spoke up and said, we're going to bring you dinners. We are going to home cook dinners for you and bring them to you. And I'm like, that is community. That is hearing the need and responding to it in love.
And love. Thank you. That is love. And something we talk about recently on the Mavericks a lot is, instead of asking, how can I help you? Just go do something. It may not be perfect. It may not be exactly what they need, but they see that you are there. Most of the time, people in need don't know what they need right then and there. They don't have an answer for you. So bring them food. Just say, I'm here for you. I'm going to check in on you tomorrow. That's it. That's all you might need, right?
It brings this piece of meeting someone where they are. Anyone that I've talked to when you're caring for someone, whether it be someone with Alzheimer's and dementia, whether it be someone that is a loved one of that person, you meet them where they are. But throwing this theme of love in place, it transcends, a relationship you have with your spouse or your family members, your direct family members, but to more of a community love too, meeting that person in a hotel room where they are.
Yeah.
And I actually was the first one to do it. And I had cooked her minestrone soup, homemade minestrone soup. And it was the best batch I had ever made. So then I put together like this bag and I threw in a fun book to read and fruit and some other things. It just got me thinking, what would I have needed back then? Because I was in that position many times. And I just met her out front of the hotel and we handed the bag off. And it was wonderful for her and for me.
What an amazing gift in that moment. You gave her a moment she'll never forget, and the people in your family care group. Yeah.
Bill, what action would you like people to take from this pop-up Facebook Live all about love? What action can our audience take?
Yeah. Well, can I give you an example of another friend who called me yesterday? And I think this is going to be so important and put it into concrete terms. She's a friend of mine in South Bend, Indiana, and her husband also was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but was a bit behind Bill. So he's more late stage now. He's still alive. So she contacted me yesterday and she said, Dale, I don't know what to get Mark for Christmas. Isn't this what a lot of people are thinking right now? Mm-hmm. What do I get my loved one for Christmas? Mm-hmm. It was so interesting because I immediately went into the assess phase. I'm always telling people, assess where your loved one is. And they look at me and then I explain it. So I say to Raina, I say, Raina, Mark's at the point, and I haven't seen him in 3 years, but I know this through emails. I said, Mark's at the point where sensory is very important right now. Sensory, like smell of a candle, feel of something, smell of flowers, taste of foods. I said, does this ring any bells for you? And she said to me, he always sits with a Kleenex or a paper towel rumpled in his hand, like he's massaging it. Well, that's sensory right there. And right away I said, oh, Raina, I've got the perfect gift for you. I said, get him some of those stress balls. So we got on Amazon and we found these colorful stress balls with cute little sayings on them. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's perfect, Dale. And I'm like, that's a concrete example of how to find if you're looking for the perfect gift for your loved one.
That is so beautiful. Yes, that is so perfect, Dale. And it's amazing how quickly 10 minutes flies. We could love all day long, couldn't we? So we're going to wrap up for today. Dale, we're going to put your contact information, if it's okay, in the post. So anyone listening here during this live event or afterwards, please feel free to reach out to Dale. She is one of the most amazing people on the planet. You won't regret it. And from us at the Mavericks, we invite you to join our Facebook group. And anyone who joins the Facebook group from watching these Facebook Lives will put you into a drawing for a Mavericks coffee mug. They're super fun and super cute. And we'll have a big drawing at the end of the week as well. And we wish you all a fabulous Sunday. Thanks for sharing 10 minutes with us today. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.